I know.
so
I was like,
crazy.
Phil, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. Boom.
Woohoo!
You know,
Oh yeah.
so wild, so wild. You know, I've been like test driving these glasses. I can see a little bit better with these, but you can see they're blue light glasses, so they kind of
Right?
reflect a little bit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh,
I think I'm
uh-huh,
gonna switch up into the prescriptions. Oh yeah, see,
uh-oh, look at
yeah,
that.
see, yeah.
Look
I can
at
see everything,
that.
everything. I can see me and stuff. What mizzle? Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome.
Dun 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 dun.
Don't.
Hey
So
you
you know,
guys.
no matter how I'm feeling, that thing gets me right, Iona.
Right doesn't
That
get
theme
you
song,
right?
it gets me right, man.
Hey
So
Ward. What's up, Ward Wilson? Good
happy Tuesday.
evening.
Well, I wonder how many
Yes.
people are going to show up on Tuesday because we done changed some things up and whatnot.
We didn't change and then the DNC's go Jeannie. Hey, hello, Jeannie. Look at
Jeannie found us.
Jeannie found us. Ward is here. This is so exciting, you guys. It's just, I got to ask you, are any of you guys watching the DNC? I mean, I just told Philip, the roll call is off the charts. It is so good. I want the soundtrack that the DJ is playing. He's playing a song for every single state, and it is like bomb, delicious, wonderful.
Bomb, delicious,
Hey,
wonderful.
Patricia
Well,
Pink Pink.
what up, Pete Pinkston? Well, okay, so people are finding us Tuesday. Sorry.
Oh,
Listen, sorry about moving
good.
all the way around and doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know, did you explain to people why we are on Tuesdays and instead of Thursdays, or why we're on YouTube instead of Instagram? And explain to the people. Bring them up
Yes,
to
well,
speed.
okay, I had, but I'm gonna explain
Yeah.
again. So we have gone from Instagram to YouTube to reach a wider audience. However, we're still going to figure out a way to connect with Instagram because we love it. But Phil and I are like, I don't like. I'm talking to Instagram. I'm talking to YouTube. We want to be able to give attention to each. So I'm going to be figuring that out. We're working on it. So we just want to get a wider audience, and eventually we're going to go live to Facebook. I got one thing missing to make it happen. We moved to Tuesdays, you guys, because I'm working on a comedy. Phil works on comedies, and multicam comedies, for the most part, they do their first part of shooting on Thursday night. So let's say they shoot scenes that they don't show live on Friday nights to the audience. And it was turning to like, remember the first time we were here, Phil was like sweating to get to the
Yeah.
show. And then
Yeah, you saw
last
me. I
week,
was in my dressing room,
right in the
actually.
dressing room. And last week I was sweating to get to the show, and I was in my office at Paramount. And so we just had to, be here on Tuesdays. And Patricia says, it's a happening. And I'm
it's a
here
happen.
on
Ooh, look at that.
Tuesdays. That's right. That's right. I love that. Very exciting with all of that. And if I can, oh, wait a minute.
She's going crazy, y'all. This is a program called Ecamm. I told her before we got on, it should be called iCam for Iona Camera, because she's gonna learn all kinds of stuff. She got all kind of thing up her sleeve. This is so exciting for her. I'm so happy to see her take a big bite out of this, and I'm along for the ride.
That's
as it
right,
were.
that's right, baby. As a matter of fact, I spoke to someone today. He's going to help us expand and get more folks to come in with us so we can all be together with some other people. I know, right, Jeannie? Isn't this hilarious?
Man, we don't know this. We're talkers. We're communicators. We're not technological people, nor are we really social media people. We just are people who are trying to use these new modalities in a way that assists us, assists our people that love us and the people we
Yeah.
love, and get the word out to the world. I mean, we're just kind of new at this. So help us out. Be patient. It's all good.
We're having fun. It's you know what? Phil and I are always saying this every Thursday. We're not only here because we're like, we want to espouse what we think about in the world and hope that we can inspire people and blah, blah, blah. We get inspired every Thursday from you guys, from your comments, your questions, from the guests that we have on. So the vision is possible is also part of the show in terms of it expanding. So the vision is going to become possible for us too.
Yes, indeed. And now it's on Tuesdays,
On
and
Tuesdays.
we're gonna put it together just like we put it together on Thursdays.
That's right.
Excuse me, I'm
That's
trying to
right.
get myself together. I was a little late today. Owen and I are running, man. We running. We doing stuff. It's actualized and factualized. And
That's right.
I just got here from where was I? Chicago.
Chicago.
I was on the plane last night. I'm like, where was I?
You're in
Chicago,
Chicago.
Illinois, for a wonderful event called Fan Expo Chicago. I was in Dallas just a few months ago. I think people saw that. And tomorrow, in the evening, I will be going to Fan Expo Canada, and visit the lovely people in Toronto. And yeah, I'll be doing all kinds of photo ops and autographs, and hopefully I have enough product. I don't do a lot of this. I don't do this by the convention circuit. I mean, so a lot of people have a lot of product. They have a lot of pictures from a lot of their work. If you go to my IMDb, it's like a novel. So it
Oh
would be
my
very difficult for me to have
gosh.
all of my material on the tape. There's not enough real estate. I need a patio. You know what I mean? Hey, a patio, display it all. Thankful, grateful, but
Very
that's what's
thankful.
happening. Yes.
And Cold Soul is going to be seeing you on Thursday
Oh
in
yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna
Canada,
hang
in
out. We're gonna do a little FaceTime.
Toronto.
So don't think the vision is possible, sons and daughters. It is
All right.
real. America, it is real. I've got that convention in
Okay.
my head. America is real. And Coach Soul and I are gonna we're
Cold
gonna cut it up and
Soul.
spend some FaceTime together. Maybe have a libation.
Mm-hmm.
And he was great, man. He was great because we don't know many of our audience members, and to actually connect in this way is wonderful. But to actually connect in real time
Yeah.
is going to be special. So I look forward to that. And Cole, thanks a lot for making the time, coming out. And man, come into the show. I will reimburse you. If all y'all wanted to come to the show, I will reimburse you. Just come on in. Come to Toronto, man. Come see
Here's
me.
here
Yeah.
is where
That's
the
what I'm talking
show
about.
is, you
Did I freeze
guys.
up?
No, you didn't. You didn't. If you
Okay.
did, I'm gonna come back
Good.
and unfreeze you. We are
Thank you.
right here. Here we go, you guys. So this is where Phil's gonna be. Fan Expo Canada in
Canada.
Toronto.
Toronto.
And it's
Yes.
going to be
Yes.
really, really cool. Really cool. As a matter of
Special.
fact, Phil, you're leaving tomorrow. Dang. I was just
What?
thinking I should really print up some cards for the show that you can just like hand to people so they can come and watch our show.
Mm. With what all of our call signs and everything and
Yeah, yeah,
handles and
yeah,
button
yeah.
nizzle. Oh yeah, I
If I
like
can
that.
if I can
That's
get
cool.
something together, like today before you leave, I may what time are you leaving tomorrow, baby?
Like 11 o'clock at night, so I don't have to be at the airport till like 9
I'm
9:30
dropping
9:30
something off to you
9:45.
tomorrow. You got it.
Yeah.
I'll
No, I'm
get some.
happy. I'm happy.
I'll
I'm
get
not leaving
something
till then.
printed up for sure, and then you can take it with you, and then you go. And by the way, you can. And you guys, we're going to start doing something. So we're going to do like every other month. We're going to have one of you guys on as our guest for like 20 minutes. Then we've been
Whoa.
wanting to do this, so we want you to do that. And Phil and I have talked about it, and so I'm going to work out. We're going to work out like how we do that, so people won't go. Well, they just pick so and so. We're not just going to pick you. We're just going
Get a
to have
little lottery or something. You know
little
what I mean?
lottery or something
Get a little
going
quick
on.
question
Yeah,
and
yeah,
answer.
yeah, yeah.
First person to answer a trivia question or something. I like that. I like
That's
that.
right. You like that?
Um,
You like that?
Yeah, I do. And then we'll do a little rehearsal so you're not in cold. Ione and I always get on a little bit before 6.
That's
Make
right.
sure our connections are right. And as you can see, I'm always playing with my ear. I think I want that to be like a signature. I want to fix this, but I think it's going to be like a little signature. You know what I mean? Like Johnny Carson or Jay Leno. Whatever.
Do you do
I
that?
my ear. I'm going to my
I
ear.
love it. Like I'm with
And so
that night Philly at the end.
yes,
turn it
I
to a
need a
thing.
signature,
You're
Ione.
right.
You're the
You
queen.
need a
I
signature.
got living in your shadow.
Oh, Phil,
Um,
listen.
we'll figure out a way to help you get on and know what's going on, and we'll have you on for a while. Maybe probably not the whole hour. We're not sure. We're not.
We're not.
We're not sure.
We're not sure. We're going to start with 20, and then if it goes longer, then we're golden. But at least nobody's pressured. Can we
Vision is
please
possible
get this?
merch.
Yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, 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 yeah. We've been thinking about that. Yeah,
Could you
we're gonna
imagine?
we're gonna look into that. I think one of them should be like a hat like
You do
this.
that. We'll have a little caricatures. You know what I mean? One was going to be you with the hair and the glasses and the
Right.
beautifulness and the necklace and some sort of sky piece. Whatever. And then mine will be the goatee and glasses and V-neck shirt and something, real big muscles. Anyway, um,
Absolutely. I want muscles.
but that driving group that I go up the mountain with, we have a little sticker that says GBBC, and if you see that on certain cars, then they know. You know what I'm saying? So the Vision is Possible sticker, and people go, wait, you, are you a member of the Vision is Possible grouping?
That's right,
Enlightening fellowship?
Right. We're going to have to, we are definitely going to work on that. I think that's going to be really cool, Phil. Thanks, Coach, because there's a whole bunch going on to do. And and that was on the list, but you've just elevated it to a higher place.
Well, I can
on
kind
the
of take that
list.
over, Iona. May I please? Will you pass the baton
Oh,
to
Phil,
me on the
yes,
merchandise?
baby. Please.
So let me think about it. I
Okay.
might go up to Toronto tomorrow when I see Coach. We might brainstorm a little bit on some
Okay,
things. Okay?
okay. Let's see what what's this Miss Patricia Singh says. We could talk about doing doll repaints. I got into it because the artist Noel Cruz gets $3,000 a pop for his celebrity doll repaints that look like wax figures. That's what is that, Patricia Pink? I still don't understand. Do you feel what is that? Sounds cool.
I'm not quite sure or how that would fit into the Vision is Possible merchandise, but always willing to talk about it.
And she can show us because
Always
Patricia
talk about
says if she's going to be a guest, she's going to wear her kitty cat ears.
Well, yeah. Well, that she can help us along with all of that.
I love it.
Lead us into prosperity, Patricia.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we were talking about the convention that I just attended. Let's get into that because then it'll lead into some of our other things. Other than, how was your week? Even though it's only Tuesday, how was your weekend?
Oh yeah, my weekend. Let me see. How was my weekend? It was really good. What did I do this weekend? I'm trying to think what I did. I made some great bean soup. You guys, I don't know if you know, but I love to cook. And my husband's a vegetarian. And so I learned how to make soups, and I made this like killer black bean soup. And
Oh, black bean. Ooh.
really good. And I really kind of hung out at home this weekend. I did have something to do Sunday that I thought was going to be next Sunday. OMG.
Well, shocker.
And it's like there's so much going on in my life, and I'm scheduling things, and I just got tired from all the traveling I was doing. Pittsburgh, back and forth. You know how it is.
Of course.
But I really spent a lot of time at home this weekend, and that was really kind of cool. My husband was so happy because I was home watching the baseball game with him. Phil, do you know that I'm into baseball?
I have gotten more into baseball as I've gotten older too. What is that?
I don't know.
Is it maturity? Is it we're slowing down enough to appreciate the game?
Maybe. I love it. I mean, I'm like,
Why?
Mookie.
Why do you love it so much? Do you think is it only the Dodgers or? Oh, sorry about that. Or is it the game itself?
The game itself, but pretty much the Dodgers. But it really, I would say, if I wasn't married to a man who is like a Dodger fanatic, I probably would not be that into it. But I've learned to appreciate the game because I was a jock when I was a kid, so I played softball
And a great
like
softball
crazy.
player. Great softball
Yeah.
player.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
so it's not unusual, but I dig it. And my girlfriend Heidi, who you know from Blackish, she invited me to go to a Dodger game. We had fab seats, and I was screaming, and we just had such a good time. It feels like a real family game.
Yeah, and it's refreshing to me. You're outdoors. I mean, especially at Chavez Ravine, Dodger Stadium, there's an open airness to it. And one of the things that Chavez Ravine has that not many ballparks have, I don't know any, there's no cityscape when you look out. When you look at a Chavez Ravine, you see wilderness. You see the big parking lot, and then you see just foothills. That's it. Most stadiums are in cities. And so wherever you look, there's skyscrapers or neighborhood, buildings, apartments, or whatever. You're not at Dodger Stadium. It's only baseball. You are absorbed in the game of baseball, and it is uniquely a visual for the game. And to be there, like now I stay, Jordan and I went last season. Hopefully we can go this season again. There's a few games left. We stay till the end, man. And when I mean the end,
Absolutely. Okay.
I
To
mean
the very,
when
very,
the ushers
very.
are coming to brush and stuff. Because you get to go in your car, you're going to sit there. You're going to sit in the parking lot, or you're going to sit in traffic trying to get to any of the freeways that they have.
Right.
And we just don't want the experience to end, man. Well, we're not drinking beer or anything because they're not serving beer anymore, but we're just sitting there soaking it up and watching the people leave. And it's different when you're in the house when there's nobody there to when it's
Yes.
all packed. So, yeah, man, I'm so glad. Back to the game. why the game itself, what about the game is interesting to you?
What about the game is interesting?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see. The excitement of when the bases are loaded. The excitement to see the batters get up there, and how all of them are the different that I was a really good batter when I was a kid. To see all the different forms,
Mm-hmm.
it's so interesting to me. And the pictures, to see all the different, some of them that are coming around this way and oh
Sidearms.
side.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it for that. And as I said, truthfully, if Munyango wasn't so involved, I probably wouldn't be. But I
Sure.
dig it. I dig
Sure.
it for that, and the excitement of the game of just how close it can be, 1-0, 9-5,
And could change
overtime. Oh
like
my
that.
gosh,
With 3 outs, it
yes,
could change because there's no clock. I mean, there's a pitch clock now, but there's no clock, so it's not like there's the end of the quarter or the end of the half. It's like the end of the inning,
right,
and that's
right.
dramatic, and it's on the players, it's on them.
It's on
Um,
them.
I
How
really
about
like that.
you? What do you find
There's a
exciting?
few things that
Okay,
I've understood having gone to a few games and being more involved
okay,
on an adult level. See, our father was not a baseball guy.
yeah,
He was a basketball, football guy,
yeah.
and he appreciated baseball, and we watched some baseball, and we went to the stadium quite a bit because
We
of celebrity
did.
games, and sometimes we would go to games, which was great. But he wasn't a baseball guy. He didn't sit down and with us and really drill. We didn't have a scorecard and go through the scorecard and all that stuff. We
Mm-mm.
just enjoyed the experience. But as I've gotten older, I've understood the dynamics of the game and the various facets, like catching the ball at the various positions, very different in left field than even right field or center field. The kind of athlete you have to be in center field to roam that distance and to throw from that distance. I mean, it's a different dynamic than either field. I've learned how to appreciate that. How the hot corner and third base is a lot way different than playing second base or first base. I've learned those things. Barry Bonds said something. I'm not a real big Barry Bonds fan, but he said something about batting, which was the catchers catch every pitch and they're catching the ball. I'm going to try to catch the ball on the bat
Wow.
as opposed to hit the ball. I'm going to catch it on the bat. I'm gonna catch it, swing through it, and you saw what
Oh,
happened. So it's really interesting. I love the little mano a mano between the pitcher, the
yeah.
catcher,
Yeah,
and batter.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? I
Yes.
like that.
Really
I think
interesting to see.
very interesting, very nuanced. You know what I mean? It's like violent without being violent.
And when you just mentioned about the different kind of skills it requires to be the first baseman, second baseman, in the outfield, I didn't know that until Mookie, who I just love him. They started moving
Mm-hmm.
Mookie around.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Young and I were talking about it. He's really versed as you are in baseball, and there are a couple of things that Mookie messed up on where he was, and I said, but he's so good. He said he's getting used to that position
Right.
and how he needs to see how the ball is coming, how he needs to move his body. That's totally different, and it's just really that's really interesting. I'm now more into not just oh wow they hit a home run. There are more intricate parts of the game.
You're so right, and it brings me to how you then extrapolate it for our purposes here. Mookie's a great baseball player,
Mm,
but he needs to know certain situations. He may know certain situations better than others, but he's a great player.
yeah,
Like you could be a good human being and be really strong in one area, but you got to tighten your game up in another area. You know,
absolutely,
because you don't have
absolutely.
it all, and we can't expect to have it all. And if you put things too
Yeah.
firmly in stone, you can kind of run the risk of being wrong, and then you can hurt yourself and the situation. So it's better to be a good player as opposed to stuck in one position. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you can
Yes, I
move around
do.
this baseball field called life. Help me now. Give me on an analogy tip. But you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yes,
it's
I
kind of cool. I
do.
think that's why I appreciate baseball now because I see the analogousness to life.
I can dig it. I can dig it. And I just, oh God, Otani.
Well, a whole nother. I saw him 60 minutes. Did you see the 60 minutes thing when he was in Japan? This was few years ago
No,
now.
no.
And Carl and I had seen a feature on
See what
him
look
that
what
60 Minutes had done. And we were like, they were talking about it then. This guy's going to be the next Babe Ruth. And boom, we were seeing him. And we were like, if he comes to America, it's on. It's about to be on. And he
baby.
came to America and it is on.
He is something else. And to me, he has got the best baseball body I have ever
Mm-hmm.
seen. He
Truly, truly, truly,
really,
truly.
really does. The way he is built, I just think he has a fantastic physique for baseball. He's a
Powerful,
handsome guy,
fast.
powerful, and you can see in his face, in
He
his
about it.
and he about it. You can see him figuring it out so much for how he's
Yeah,
figuring it out, and his mind is work. I love
I
it.
dig the dude. And he's not able to pitch yet. When he was pitching before, he
Yeah.
was a lights out pitcher, all
And
star pitcher and batter. You pitch in the All Star game and hit a home run.
what's
What?
the deal? He's injured? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, he had Tommy John surgery. Tommy John was a great pitcher for both, I think, the Dodgers and the Mets, and he had a horrible elbow injury, and he had comprehensive elbow surgery, reconstructive, and it was successful. And since then, they've called it Tommy John surgery. And there's several players, not just pitchers, who get that done. And for the most part, when they get that done, they're much better. They're at least as good as when they left the game. So I don't know how that happens. The doctors are genius right now.
Right, right.
So that's baseball. Wow, we got into
Speeding
baseball,
at
didn't
80 miles per hour, especially some players can get hurt with a hit in the head.
we?
Ooh,
Oh, heck
that's why
yeah.
they've got,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just
The average pitch in the major leagues, you guess what it is now?
90.
93.
I was off by 3.
There are 60 pitchers who throw over 100.
Damn. Baseball is one of the few
Yeah.
sports where fans don't necessarily need to be front row to experience the game. Fans can sit anywhere and enjoy. That is so true.
That is so true.
Wow, it's really cool that
I've loved
way.
sitting up in the upper decks. Loved it. It's a different perspective, man. And then fans are different up there, a little more raucous sometimes, a
Of
little
course
more
they are.
into the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
making
yeah,
you
yeah.
close to the game because they're not close to the game.
I love it. So, I told you how my week was, and I told everybody last week about when I went out of town. So, how did your weekend go? Because
It's been nonstop, you and I.
you were
Nonstop, man.
at Fan Expo. Look at Dad's
Chi-town.
face, you guys. Look
Oh,
at
it seems so
Dad's
smug. Look at that.
face.
Look at that. I don't trust that dude. I got to get another picture. I got to get them to get another picture. Anyway, I had a great time in Chicago. The people were really, and I was outside of Chicago. I was in Rosemont, which was beneficial because they're having the Democratic convention in Chicago, and it's incredibly locked down. They've got Secret Service everywhere. Traffic is a fucking joke. Excuse me. So being outside of it and being in a complex of hotels, which is where they house all of the talent, and it's big talent. I mean, they had some really, really special people there, which was great. I had a great time. There's some wonderful people who came to the table. I always come away with great stories and great involvement with the people that are there. You make $1 or $2, which is great. It subsidizes why you're there, and then a little bit more. And so I think we've talked about this before, but if we haven't, what I do is mainly recorded. It's not live. So I don't get a chance to interact with the public in terms of how my performance resonated and how it landed on people. And during these conventions, you get that chance. Not only do you get the
Yes.
chance for current work, but work that you've done in the past that has really, really touched people. And that's the most special part of all of it. And every single, and Iona has them too, every single convention I go to, there's a story or 10 of people who have been moved and who have moved me as a result of our shared connection with my work or the things that we're both passionate about. Because I am a member of that community. I'm a comic book fan. I don't collect anymore. Well, as I say that, I bought 2 huge compilation tomes while I was there. One on the Super Sons, Batman and Superman's Sons. Huge, I mean huge omnibus. And then one on a superhero called Invincible that is actually a cartoon on Prime, I believe. But I met the artists and the writers, and I'm just all into it. I'm just as geeky as they are
Cool.
about me being in Seinfeld. So, yeah, it was great, Iona. It was great. I mean, the first guy who came to my table, the very first guy, had a little family, Asian cat, little family, little daughter and son, and he was a Wing Chun guy. The Wing Chun is my.
Feel
It's
I
all
just,
right. It's
kind
all
of.
right.
We'll get to that in a minute, you guys.
Yeah. But he brought. I mean, put me on full screen so I can show people what he
Yeah,
brought
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
First, he was amazing. We got a chance to chi sao, which is our little push hands exercise that we do in Wing Chun. It's not little, but that's to simplify it for everybody. And then he brought me books on his lineage. I mean, like like, look at this that he brought me.
We
I
can see
mean,
it really well, honey. Now, what is this book? Commemorative book?
this, yeah, it's a commemorative book, the Macau Wing Chun commemorative book, the celebrating 50 years. So Wing Chun, like karate, has many different schools and many different branches. He also brought me a DVD of the ceremony that he and his teachers and his other students were a part of, and he just gave it to me. And I said, what can I do? Can I give? I mean, this is not inexpensive. Is there something I can give you? And he was just like, if you take a picture with the book, I would just love it. And I was like, sure. But it was so generous, and we got a chance to cheese out and stick hands, and it was just terrific. And that's just an exchange. There's no winning or losing. There's just exchanging energy and knowledge. And I was really moved by it. That was the very first person who came to my table on the weekend on a Friday, and it just went from there. And I get to hang out, Iona, with the other Seinfeld special artists like Wayne Knight and Larry Thomas, Soup Nazi, and Patrick Warburton, who played Putty, as well as so many other amazing roles that they played. But we're there for the Seinfeld experience, and people are just blown away to see all of us together, any one of us individually, but to see us all together at one location is pretty special. And again, I don't do these very often, so there's not a lot of chance for you to see me in these venues, let alone all of us in one place.
That is awesome, Phil. I actually thought you were there for the comic book, but you were there for Seinfeld. Oh, that's right, Fan Expo, which is...
Fan Expo.
It really reaches out. And you were also...
Well, the comic book was given to me.
And then
that
look
was
at
given
this.
to me by another fan. Check that out.
Wow.
And for
tell
me
us who
to
this
be
is,
in...
Phil.
Say again, baby?
Tell us what this is.
Oh, this is so people. I did the show Smallville, and this was the comic book based on the series that they did just after the series had ended after 10 years. And that character on the front is John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, the character I played in the show. That's Batman up in the corner, and we're fighting one of the White Martians, which is, I don't want to get into the weeds, but it's one of my enemies. And on the inside, which is the other picture, is actually a picture of me as John Jones. And then, and then I turn into him in the next page, but I don't think I took a picture of that. But that's actually me. And to have my image represented in a comic book when I have been such an incredible comic book fan my whole life, I mean, that's a dream come true. I mean, yeah, it would be cool to do movies and stuff, and I've done TV shows, but to actually be in a comic book as yourself playing that character, I really don't know how many artists have had that happen. I don't care what your career is like, or how many voices you've done as Batman. Have you been Batman in the comic?
That's the vision
I am John
made
Jones.
possible.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. It blows my mind. I just love it so much. So I'm hoping that a lot of people come over to my table and want to talk about John Jones and Smallville and the career. And again, I am not deep into the convention world, so I'm bringing as many photographs as I can. If I run out, you know what I don't run out of? Conversation.
No, you didn't. We were in Vegas together at a Star Trek convention, you guys, and they put us right next to each other, which was really cool. And just watching Phil, and I've done several conventions before, and it's just so much fun. It really is to talk to people, and they remember, like, in episode so-and-so, in the year lada, when you said, what did you mean? And I'm like, let me remember. The greatest thing is when you talk to people who, a couple of things, they'll bring their kids and like, this is the man or this is the woman who really inspired me, and the kids are there, or they're telling you how you inspired them and how much they enjoyed, what you do, what you offer as a character. And it's just, it's so gratifying, because in theater, you hear the applause right away, you hear the accolades.
Yeah.
But the convention is where you get it. That's wonderful, honey.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to the next 4 days that's going to be in Toronto. It'll be a long time, but
Toronto.
Yeah, it was good. And the diversity, we're going to make a little bridge here, jump from one to the next. The diversity is what really blows my mind. I mean, there are all types, shades, sizes, cultures.
There wasn't
genders.
when we first started, remember?
No, no, it was more
Not so
homogenous,
much, yeah, but
I would
now it's
imagine.
really widened.
Oh, the
Oh,
top has
it's
blown off,
fantastic.
man. Are you kidding me? I
Yeah.
have men and women coming to my table. It doesn't matter. One of them will want. The man will be. I had this nice young man come to my table. He's sweating. He's sweating. And he just, do you have a picture with your shirt off? I mean, he was just taken. His friend was there. His friend was like, "Are you okay?" No, he was not okay. No, I am not okay. So, black gentleman, obviously gay, beautiful cat. I had 5 minutes later, a woman went through the same thing.
I got to
White
show you.
woman from
Oh, I
Illinois.
love
It was
it.
like, I'm just saying, it's so special. And then there'll be a group of young, really strong teenagers that will come up and, oh man, we loved you on Doom Patrol, or we loved you in Smallville, or Atlantis was our favorite movie. I mean, this is crazy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And I wanted to show you guys because I meant to say this when I first put. So you see this character up here, and his muscles. That's Phil, for reals. Those. That's
For real,
it's
for
like
real.
they just took a picture of his body and said, "Well, let's just make it a cartoon." That's
I
what he looks
am
like.
true, and the artist was there. The artist was there,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
no, the artist was there, and so was the artist who conceived of me for Green Lantern. And just, I don't know, come on, this just we live in such a beautiful world, and
Yeah,
when we're open to those vibrations, it's very rewarding, very, very.
it really is. It really is. And it brings to mind about this isn't it's not like you guys. Phil started out as an actor and it's just been like smooth sailing. Man, I'm telling you, it's just there were rocky low moments and stuff in there, and I always want you to remember that because when you look at where he is now, know that this is the vision is possible. Hey, David Peterson, I just saw that you were here. So glad. Nia, so glad to have you here, all you guys. Um, that when we talk about the vision is possible, it's not like, well, let's just do a show with a name. Let's pick a name. We've lived it. And so it's very exciting, Phil, to hear you because I remember him when he was a little tyke and he's collecting all of these magazines and it's like my mother's like all these comic books, excuse me, not magazines, all these comic books. But where was his interest in those comic books? He voices characters, he does them live, and as you can see now, he's also a figure inside of comic books. And that's really exciting when you look back. I do that when I look at young people now and I see where their interests are, and I'm like, where are they going to go when they grow if they maintain that
Mm,
curiosity?
it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah,
It's
it's possible.
possible.
So yeah, that convention was great, and how ironic that it was in Chicago where the Democratic convention is.
Lots of activity, a flourish of stuff going
Well,
on.
yeah, yes, a flurry of activity. It is on and popping in Chicago the same way it was at the Republican convention, and
Mm-hmm.
the energy is just palpable, man. And I think the desire for good feelings and positivity is is overwhelming right now. It's
Mm.
overwhelming. We're so tired of the negative and so tired of the hate and so tired of the division, so tired of blaming others for our situation, creating more problems as opposed to finding answers. And I think when we watch the juxtaposition between the two, to me, there's an essential difference, and that's kind of the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, Iona, when our parents were alive and they were doing their political thing with Mayor Bradley and Sam Yorty, remember we had some parties at our house, some
Mm-hmm.
fundraisers. The talk was always positive. The talk was always
Always.
can do, hopeful. Oh my goodness, let's go. We want to help everybody. Everybody's at stake here, not just one or two people or just selective people. And I've always felt that about certain people in certain parties, not everybody in every party. But that's how I make my decision
Mm-hmm.
about who I support. Are you for
Mm-hmm.
all of us? Are you open-ended? I don't have to agree with everything you say. I'm not going
Right.
to.
Right.
But are you really looking for the betterment of everybody? And
Mm-hmm.
not just, and is it coming from a place of building as opposed to a place of fear?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's a little palpable. And I do get concerned with the cult of personality that exists anywhere, but especially in this regard, because it's going to have a grave effect on our society if that wins. You know, if my particular special interest is all I look out for, not our interest, and in that I can find my way. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. You know, we can
Mm-hmm.
be interested in the things we want and work hard for the things that we're going to make our family and us better while lifting others up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to, I got to do it my way and later for y'all. You know, I only have my interest at heart. And we've got to get out of that kind of thinking.
Yeah. I agree with you, Phil. We are in this together. We have one planet. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Mm-hmm.
one people. And
Mm-hmm.
if we, Phil and I are always talking about, sometimes there are negative things that happen in your life, but we're not going to stay in a place of negativity. We're going to look for the good. How can this moment inspire or encourage or inform for us to move forward? And I too am very concerned about negativity against others and something that's done just saying that I can only take care of it. We have to look forward. We've got to be inspired to know there are kids behind us who we're going to leave this planet to. If we don't take care of our atmosphere, if we don't take care of our finances, if we create division between us, how do we find a way to work together with each other? And that's really what's very much important to me right now as we are looking at this landscape of the political season. We are in a very interesting, changed political season right now.
I think togetherness is a very good theme. You know, I know
Mm-hmm.
Kamala's is freedom. Freedom is an open-ended uh, kind of catch-all for me. Uh, but I think inclusion, understanding, acceptance
Mm-hmm.
are just as important.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, you know. But this is one of the rare times in our history, if ever. I'm not that big a political wonk, that we have two conventions where the candidates are already the nominees,
Mm-hmm.
where there are
Yeah, we were
no
talking about
other
that.
competing candidates for the
Mm-hmm.
nomination of either party. Now, Iona made a good point. Usually, that happens when there's an incumbent, and we understand that. And usually, that incumbent carries the flag of their party, and then
Mm-hmm.
they have other candidates on the other side that are vying for the position of the nominee of their party. That's not the case now. It's unique in our history, and it's unique that one person would cede his position in this process for his perceived good of the country. And I don't care what anybody says. You know, President Trump says that it's a coup. Okay, whatever. They have. You can have your opinion. How I look at Joe Biden in this moment is he is being bigger than his loyalty to his party.
That's
His
right.
loyalty is to the country that spawned the
The
party.
highest good.
Right. How do we
Mm-hmm.
continue this great democracy for
Mm-hmm.
all? This is my choice. I'm choosing to step away so that something that's stronger can come into focus. And
Mm-hmm.
that I honor that, you know, I honor that, and I honor his service over 50 years, longer than pretty much any public servant on that level ever. And
Mm-hmm.
he chose to step away for the greater good of the country. Is it good for the party? Sure, of course. And they talk about this convention as though it's entertainment. Well, yeah, it is entertainment. And once again, we're in a unique position in that we have no other candidates. So, of course, it's going to be the highlights of Kamala Harris. Of course, it's
That's
going to be the
right.
highlights of.
It's
That's what you
supposed to
do at
be.
conventions.
That's
That's what you
right.
did at the Republican convention.
That's
Highlight all
right.
of Trump's wins, all your wins, and all that. The only difference that I see, and I want people to really kind of resonate with, which a lot of the ex Republicans have, even people from his cabinet, people from his inner circle, have come forward and they're making a decision based on the greater good,
Mm-hmm.
not just based on policy, not just based
Mm-hmm.
on legislation, Because in fact, if people are really looking for the greater good of the country, those policies and legislations will be forward thinking. And you have to look at the juxtaposition between somebody who isn't really thinking that way and people who are. And where do you fall in that? You know, how are you processing your journey in this country? And are you for everyone, or are you just for a few? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we've got to be for everyone right now.
Seems it
Can,
works better that way.
it sure does, considering everyone is on this planet. It's everyone in our country who we need to be for. We are only as strong as our weakest link.
Hello.
And so it's very important to fortify that weak link. I also think it's very important for us to not put down those who are born with a silver spoon in their mouths. There are those who are born with a silver spoon in their mouths, and they are still good people. They're still out there fighting for justice for everyone. But you don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to be an asshole. You can be an asshole no matter what it is. So a lot of people I feel that they really need to think about without saying, oh, well, he didn't suffer. Well, he didn't do this. Well, you know what? Some people were born lucky that way. It's what you do with what you got. It's what you do with your blessings. That's the important thing. It's what you do when you've been given more than others. How do you treat others? How do you give so that maybe it's not evening the playing field, but it sure is uplifting? And there are a lot of people who we all know who are into uplifting because they know no matter how much money you have or how much power you have, if there are too many of those suffering, they're coming for you, or either it's all going to implode. We have to have a strong, shored up America in order for us to be viable around the world, in order for us to be successful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're missing the point here. We're so angry. Well, not us. I'm just going to be a bucket list here, bucket thing, blanket statement. We, when we're angry, are so angry about these things that we miss the mark. And the mark is that America is amazing. The mark is that we have a chance to fix things that other countries do not have the chance to fix. Because we are not authoritarian and autocratic. We are a combination of ideals and ideology that is supposed to come together in a melting pot that then results in positive change. Not that your idea is the way or my idea is the way. It's that we come together as a collective. That's the United States of America. And through all of those different points of view, which ideally should be existing equally in this country, we come to a shared agreement on the betterment for all.
Yes.
That's what other countries do not have.
Yes.
And we miss that we have that blessing. We should be grateful for that. We should find a way to be inclusive down on the border and know that it cannot be solved. You can only help the situation. You cannot solve it. And maybe in that you will solve it. But you cannot divorce yourself from the fact that people are going to come here. They're going to want to be here. We've created this place to be a drug. How'd that just say no work for you? So we've got to just say, all right, let's try to work on this, man. How do we make this, make this water into wine, turn this lemon into lemonade? We got all these geniuses out there and figuring out how to do things with electricity and how you make this money out of that and how you can convert this to this and Bitcoin and whatnot. You can't figure out how to work with all these people.
That's right.
How to get them to work with us when they get here.
That's right.
Figure out a way to get them here in a way that's safe, sane, and helps the collective of the United States of America.
Do we demand that there are countries who treat their people better, or to help what we need to help them to treat their people better? Because I wonder if we would spend actually less monies in doing that.
Why don't we then say, I think you're right. Why don't we then say the debt you owe us, reinvest in your system, in your society, instead of like pay us back what you owe us. No, you know how you can pay us back? By reinvesting in yourself and making yourself strong. so
Thank
that
you.
you can continue the growth and not pull from the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, they didn't ask us. Doggone it.
oh well, they don't need to ask us. We're gonna say it anyway.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
um, so an FBA is a full blown American, I believe, is what that is.
Oh, full
Um,
blown American FBA.
I don't know what a full blown American is unless you were raised in a teepee and you
Thank you.
had a totem pole
Thank
and you were
you.
hunting buffalo for your food and your clothing. If you ain't
Mm-hmm.
that, you ain't American, really.
Come
You
on.
just
Come on.
you an immigrant. Ha ha.
Everybody
That
is
what
an
you are.
immigrant.
What you
American
are
isn't even the name of this country. Okay.
is.
That
Do we know
was
why it's called America?
why.
From Amerigo Vespucci, the great Portuguese explorer or Italian explorer.
Oh,
Amerigo
oh.
Vespucci. This is that dude. Wasn't Columbus. It was Amerigo Vespucci. America. They thought it was the West Indies when he landed here. He didn't know. He didn't know. You know what I
Mm-hmm,
mean?
mm-hmm.
So
Right.
man, let's just not play a player. Let's be in reality, everybody.
Right.
You know?
Here's what K9 Coach says: rebuilding reflects us all. We share this planet together. That's why voting is crucial. That's right, baby. It's our voice. Other cultures work better together as a tribe. How come we cannot follow that blueprint? Talk about the ultimate crabs in a barrel.
Money. It's money. Status, power. You know. Um,
And something just hit me, Phil. I hadn't thought about this. We're a made up country. We're not like London, France, the islands, Greece, Canada. We're not like a country where all the peoples are from there.
mhm, mhm,
We're a made
mhm.
up country where people came from Europe. People were stolen and brought here from Africa. And now there are people who are risking their lives to come here. We're not a country that is built up from within, meaning the indigenous peoples.
Agreed. Good point. Good point. So, what does that mean that our foundation is? So then, where is
Mm,
our foundation? We put our stock in the Constitution because that is America's Bible, basically.
mm-hmm,
And if it isn't in the Constitution, then it doesn't exist, or it isn't important,
mm.
or you have to do a lot to change people's minds or include it in some way, as opposed to common sense thinking, which is exactly how the Constitution was developed.
For
So
its
why don't
time.
right, right.
Mm-hmm,
It it
mm-hmm.
it it's like you're still using fire instead of a laser, you know?
Exactly.
I'm still
Exactly.
I'm still shooting rocks instead of shooting with a gun. I mean, I don't mean to be violent, but
Right.
yeah, rocks had their uses. The musket had its use.
Mm-hmm,
Now you got ARs. I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying things change. I only you started with this.
mm-hmm.
The change is ever present. That's the thing. And I believe in my heart that
It's kind
change
of our
is what's
theme
being
for
accepted
tonight.
by one of the parties and not accepted by the other. In fact, a lot of their watchword is we want to go back. We want to go back to the way it was. Let's make America great again like it was. That is impossible. That
Mm-mm,
is so
mm-mm.
unzen. I cannot tell
Very
you.
much.
But even if you go forward with nostalgia, you're going forward. You might be thinking about the past, but you are in the future.
That's right.
What are we
That's
talking
right.
about?
And as a black
So,
woman, I don't want to go back. As a woman, I don't want to go back. And then as a black woman, a black woman, I don't want to go back because
right.
that was not a fun time for me. The era that they are talking about as Make America Great Again. We don't have to. Why would you want to go back? None of us want to go back. I don't want to be 30 again. I don't care that I had a better body. My mind wasn't in the right place when I was in my 30s. Why would we want to go back? Why wouldn't we want to improve where we are and move forward? That's
I
a much
love,
stronger place to be in.
I love old movies. I love Clark Gable. I couldn't have played opposite him back in the
Mm-mm.
day.
Oh, no,
It wasn't
no,
allowed.
no.
I could have played his valet, his footman,
Mm-hmm.
his driver. But So I can appreciate the time and get the reality that I couldn't have existed in that time the way I exist today. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we can appreciate the past, and I don't care if you like even the Confederate flag, and you're like, oh, that's our history, and my grandfather was a sharecropper or a plantation owner. That's my legacy, and you want to own that. That's fine. That's reality. But don't do it to deny the present and hold on to that as though that's the gospel now.
Right.
Interesting that Reverend Warnock. Did you see him last night?
Oh,
He said something I
yes.
really believe in, and I'm
Oh,
not very religious. People
yes.
know this. It's not a secret. But he said something I really believe.
Mm.
He said, "Your vote is like prayer. Your
I
vote
loved that.
is an intention
Yes.
for good to do the thing that you believe in. It's your opportunity to pray in your way and have
Mm-hmm.
it heard." I thought that was beautiful, man. No matter which side you were on,
Mm-hmm.
please use your right to vote.
Please, your vote does count. Look at this, what Colch says. Colch says, we
Coach
can't
is on it
just,
tonight.
I'm telling you, we want to hear from all you guys. We can't just run away from our responsibilities. If we're sharing our space together, don't we have a responsibility to one another? Please, yes.
Stop making so much gosh dang sense, cool. Would you please? You're impressing me all over the place. Yes, we do. It is a question of whether or not we take that responsibility on. But yes, you're right. The universe says you are responsible. It's it's the same way that I remember when we had big riots back in the day, and I went to Hamilton High School to speak, and they were ready to blow that school up. Man, these
What?
students were upset after
When
the
was this,
Rodney King
baby?
verdict.
Oh,
After the
yeah.
Rodney King verdict, and so I spoke at a few public schools. Hamilton High School was one of them, and they were angry, man, and they're telling me, "Mr. Moore is this, Mr. Moore is that," blah, 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 blah. And I'm listening, and I said, "You know what? You're right. Society broke their contract with you,
Mm-hmm.
but that does not give you the right to break your contract with society, or else we
Mm-mm.
just have chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to call them
On it.
on the carpet
That's
and
right.
call them on it. That's what your right is. That's how you become progressive and you don't become hateful, angry, reactionary."
And
And
stuck. We don't move. We're just
boy,
stuck right here.
those and
We're
teenagers
stuck.
I'm talking to too.
Yeah.
Teenagers. I mean, they want to do something, you know, and they heard that and they were just like,
Yeah, I
"Yeah,
bet.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right." So then they were more like, "Yeah, well, how do we do?" And we said, "Write letters, show up,
Mm-hmm.
protest
Mm-hmm.
peacefully,
Mm-hmm.
but don't take it into your own hands. Don't start enacting violence on people or turning over police cars or scarring them up or painting on them. You be better. You want them
Mm-hmm.
to be better. You be better."
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are, man. You feel it tonight, people. You feel us?
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. And we need to talk to our youngsters. Yes, it is America. It's meant to make America great for white men. It's definitely not including women or others that don't look like the thems. And it's a very small section. I don't want to get us to get it twisted that it's wow, it's so many people who feel that way. Relatively not as many who feel the other way. That's why we've got to inspire people to vote. Inspire them to know that your vote does count. We count votes like this: one, two. If there's another three, then it's just, you know what I'm saying? And I love what Reverend Warnock said. He really did. They've had some great speakers to inspire us to vote. I don't know if you guys heard Hillary Clinton speak the other
Oh yeah,
night, but
I
she
heard them
was
all.
friggin'
Heard them all.
amazing.
And I do wish I'd have heard more of the Republican convention, but it was very difficult for me. Honestly, it
Mm,
was hard for me to hear the hate and the vitriol.
mm.
And honestly, it was hard for me to hear a lot of the Trump bashing last night. I get it. And it was the first night of the convention, so they're setting the agenda. I appreciate that. I hope they step down from that and just talk about how they're going to
I
make better.
agree. That's why I mentioned
Um,
about people who are born with a silver spoon in their mouths. Those who are we got to stop that. We know plenty of Democrats on our own who are financially very well off.
we were born with a silver spoon in our mouths. We were.
Well, well, we got that
Relatively.
silver spoon later on in our lives. Oh,
No,
okay, okay,
our father
okay.
killed it. Killed
Okay.
it.
No, yes, he did. And I'm not saying he didn't, but when we were born, he hadn't killed it. and then he
Yeah, but
killed it
I
later.
mean, but
But
you know,
that
we had advantages.
that
I'm looking at it as more, we definitely had advantages that
mm,
don't color the value of your humanity. That's what
mm-hmm,
you're saying. You're
mm-hmm.
saying the advantages that somebody's born with or acquires in some way is not the label of their value of
Exactly,
humanity.
exactly, exactly.
So that's what
So
I'm saying. We
David
didn't
says,
struggle, is all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm with you. David Peterson, your friend from Malaysia, he says, you want to read that, Phil, or
As an outsider looking in, the strength of America is in its diversity.
mm-hmm,
The facts. That's facts.
mm-hmm,
A- Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
We become better because we bring so many different cultural points of view and racial points of view and religious points of view and societal points of view on the highest level. And
Mm-hmm.
David continues to say the fact that it is made of so many cultures, peoples, languages. That's what I'm saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us
Mm-hmm.
stronger because we then have a whole world understanding
That's
as
right.
opposed to just my block mentality.
That's right.
And that's why the Olympics are so beautiful, right, Iona?
Oh my gosh, it is so terrific. I love it. Yes, I love when Americans win, but I love it when anyone who has worked friggin' hard has won. Absolutely, and that's the most beautiful thing about the Olympics, from all over the world, and the ceremonies of seeing all of these cultures come in, and then at the end seeing them all leave, and you see the friendships they've made. They
Hmm.
don't speaking the same language, but they know they've both been working their butts off for whatever their competition was, and it's
Hmm.
beautiful.
And so you make a great point, and I think we need to adopt it here. No, they don't speak the same language the same way we don't speak it here. Politically, I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But the same language they're speaking as athletes, which is, I have worked hard. I
Mm-hmm.
deserve to be in here, whether I'm an archer or I'm a rhythmic gymnast or, whatever the yoke of the axe is that I've got, the shared experiences that we both busted our ass to be here. And
Mm-hmm.
we're here. And we deserve to be here. I respect you. I respect you. Game
That's right.
recognized game.
That's right.
And
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? Whether you Ukrainian, I mean, I'm sure the Ukrainian athletes and the Russian athletes had a thing, but I'm sure
The
that the
Russians
common
weren't.
thread
Yeah.
they had, well, they were there in
The
terms of
international
who they did not,
group.
yeah, they were not connected with Russia in terms of
Yeah.
they couldn't fly their flag and run under their banner and all that stuff,
Right.
but they certainly were there. Um, I'm sure at a certain point they just look at them as athletes. You know what I mean? You just another dude or chick who's like trying to do the
Politics
same thing I'm
out the
doing.
window. Trump followers to feel that like giants, like they do during segregation days and when they could control women, even with abortion and their bodies. Well, yes. And that's why we need to continue fighting for what is positive and good and forward
And
thinking.
here's what we shouldn't do, which is why I want the convention to adopt not a more civil tone, but a
Mm-hmm.
tone that's more progressive, that's more
Mm-hmm.
forward thinking than
Mm-hmm.
bashing Republicans or bashing the 2025 situation or Trump, because that ain't gonna change them. That's not gonna change them. Keep yourselves awake and alive and aware of what's happening, but that's not gonna change them. So tell us what's gonna change us and help us all come together as opposed to downing who they are. And I think we have to be careful about that. That's my opinion.
I think I agree with you with this one caveat. I'd like to say I think it is important for us to bring forward what 2025 is saying and doing. But what I do agree with you with very much, Phil, is Trump has changed even us. They are doing exactly what you told those Washington high school kids not to do.
Mm-hmm.
We are playing into the vitriol, the anger, the putting down.
Yeah, be careful.
We aren't doing what Michelle Obama said, and that is
They go
go
low, we go
higher.
high.
That's right. That is what she is talking about doing, and that is what we must watch. We can't do anything about that man and their beliefs. We talk to each other and we do our best to listen and to hopefully affect a positive change. But the best way we can affect positive change is to not fall into the same putting each other down with such
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ugliness. That
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest hurt I've had and disappointment I've had with the Democratic Party. That's where they're coming from. We don't
But
need to go there.
I don't know. I so agree, and it's hard though. That's a
It
very
is hard.
advanced, very evolved point of view because here's, right, we've come from experience. I was in Chicago. Come out of off the airplane, the long flight, all good. The people are there, organizers there, boom, right there, cool as hell. I gotta use the bathroom. They're like, okay, be careful. Some autograph seekers trying to get some autographs, and I'm like, cool.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm
I go in
sorry.
the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
Well, they're hovering, right? So they weren't in the
Okay.
bathroom, but I came out, bam, there they are, and they got like pictures, man. So, and me, I'm not. You guys, you know me a little bit. I'm a get along person. You have a picture of my face, I'm signing it. You have a piece of paper, I'm signing it. It's goodwill to me. I'm not. It's
Mm.
very new for me. Not new, but my understanding of paying for pictures and people doing that, I get it. I do it, but I wouldn't do it at a restaurant. If you came up to me at a restaurant, I'd be like, hey, what's up, bro? Here you go. So that's kind of how I looked at it. So I
Mm.
did sign those pictures. Boom, we had to go. Everybody got there. Went with the organizers. We're outside to get into our car. There's more autograph people there, right? But we got to get in the car now. So the guy comes up to me. He's like, Phil, could you sign this? I'm like, no, no, I can't. I have to get in the car. He goes, why not? You sign those guys' pictures. And I said, please don't couch it like that. They got lucky. I have to go to the event. And he goes, well, explain to me why. I mean, he would not let me go.
Wow.
So I said, now here's what I should have said. I should have said,
Mm.
listen, if you want a picture, come to the show tomorrow. That's what I should have said. But it was a long flight. I had done a solid to these
Mm-hmm.
people, and then I was feeling kind of bad that I did it because I thought I opened the door to this.
Mm.
So what I said to him was, well, right now, I don't want to. So that's the answer. And he kept talking. And I said, wait, no. You asked me why I wouldn't do
Mm.
it. I told you. Now it's time for you to roll on. Right? I got very LA on him. I didn't say it quite like that, but I did say, not, whatever. So they got the car for me. I got in the car. I went to the hotel. But I felt terrible. I
Mm.
did. I just felt terrible. Regardless of the fact that he was on me and
Mm-hmm.
he's doing that thing, regardless of I didn't think he was right, whatever. I felt bad about that. And I went the
Mm-hmm.
next day. I got to tell you this story, guys, because this is going to tie into what we're talking about here.
Mm.
I went downstairs the next day and I told the organizer, I said, I'm sorry for what happened last night. And they were like, no, Phil, are you kidding me? That guy deserved it. Whatever. And they're supporting my position. Great, fine. I just wanted them to know that's not the kind of person I am. It's not how I operate. Told them what I should have said,
What
and we
should you have
moved on.
said, baby? What should you have said?
Listen, I'm sorry. Those guys got lucky. They caught me outside the bathroom. If you want a picture, come to the event tomorrow, and I'll sign it. Because there are people coming to the event paying good money for me to sign pictures that they're paying for. And I'm just going to give this to you for free outside the airport bathroom. Just not right. So if you want it, come to the show. I didn't say that. All right. I'm doing the show. It's all good. The next day it happens all good. Later that afternoon, who shows up at my table?
Oh.
That dude.
Mm.
That dude. And I look at him and he looks at me. I go, we good? He's like, oh yeah, man. You look, man. I'm sorry, man. Can I get a picture? I'm like, absolutely. I signed the picture for him. The story's not over. The next day, I go down to tell the handlers, you won't believe it. The universe sent this guy to my table to give me relief, to let me know, no, it wasn't my fault. It was probably nobody's fault, but he was the one pressing the button. Okay? Now, then the organizers tell me this. They say they just picked up Rosario Dawson at the airport. Autograph people everywhere. They want to get out of here. They get out of there. She's hungry. They go to a spot that's many, many miles away from the airport, as far away as they can, a nice little spot that they know. They go to this spot. Guess who's there?
No shit.
He comes up to them. He's having dinner. He apologizes for his actions with me the night before.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, how does that happen?
Oh.
So the universe is telling me something. Philip, yes, you got to stay safe. But you don't have to respond in a way that takes you out of your you-ness. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to really hesitate to respond in those ways when we're being pressed upon. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts when Trump says certain things it hurts when we say certain things about people. It hurts. But we have to resist reacting in a way that continues to inflame the situation.
Okay, but I just heard everything you said, and I didn't think you did anything that inflamed the situation.
No, but that's what we're in danger of here.
Yes,
That's what we
I
could
agree with you.
certainly do here.
I agree, because then the truth is you're not. The messages may be different, but the vitriol and the anger is the same, and that's
He looked at
not
me,
cool.
and you know me. When he looked at me and I said, roll on, and he wasn't happy, we about to fight, dude. You look at me a little bit more, one more jaw clench, and we about it. So yeah, I could have easily inflamed the situation, but
Mm-hmm.
and was it my fault? I don't know. I mean, I signed these guys' autographs. He didn't understand it. Why wouldn't I sign his? You know what I'm saying? It was a legitimate question. It was just the way it was brought to me, the situation, and his attitude turned me off. And and so
And
there
you
was a
just got off a
resolve.
plane and you're
No, there's many
tired.
reasons, but the
And
resolve was what was so beautiful.
yeah.
You know,
I love
and
that
it.
he came forth to apologize, that he did see that, and he knew he was wrong. He
Mm-hmm,
was trying to take advantage of a situation, and
mm-hmm,
that's, and
mm-hmm.
and I'm glad. Did you get a chance to forgive yourself?
That's why I'm telling the story.
Fantastic. That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
why I'm smiling.
That's right.
The
That's
universe sent it to me so that I could find relief,
that's right.
and it gave it to me. You
That's
know,
right.
so because we're only human people, you're gonna feel some kind of way about stuff. You know,
Perfect.
just know that. Wouldn't you want somebody to filter their emotions so that they don't jump in your face because they feel in some kind of way? So let's take the time to monitor ours.
And I feel really, even though you weren't comfortable with your response to him, I feel that your response was very clear and it was very on point. Though you might have wanted to respond a different way, I really think it was very much on point, and you weren't. Mother,
No, 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 no F
you
bombs,
didn't.
no S, no. I didn't
You didn't
curse,
do
no.
that. You
Call him out
told
of his
him
name.
they did da da da. You come, you do, and I'm tired. Are we okay? Because I'm gonna, and that happens. And also you're a man, and he had to respect that.
Right,
You know, you're right, Phil Morris.
right. Well, I'm work in progress, Iona.
All of
Morris
us.
Jackson.
Perfection does not exist except in the eye of the beholder of a moment. A perfect moment. Sunset is a perfect moment. You know, what you went through was perfect because of what you got
Exactly,
back then later
exactly.
on. I
Keep the
love
channel
that.
open,
Keep
right?
the
Keep the
channel
channel
open.
open.
That deserves a.
Boing. Or actually, you know what you need? You need a home run sound. Like
I do. I need a home run sound. Oh,
a home
I've
run
got
sound.
this one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But the home run thing is great because if you hit it, I'll just be like, yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
that would be good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know I gotta look for it, or I could do this.
That'd be if we did come to fisticuffs, that would have been it.
Oh, that would have been the one, right?
Or a siren or something. It wasn't getting to there, but I was, man, people, you get to the point you ain't having it. And I think that's the same thing here. The country ain't having it anymore. You know what I mean? We want to fight, but the way we fight is to vote. The way we fight is to
That's
step up
right.
and do the
That's
right
right.
thing
That's
because
right.
we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for others.
That's right. That's
I
right.
feel like a father right now.
That's
Kids,
right.
we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for the community.
The community. The community. We're doing it for the community. We're standing up straight. And we're moving strong. That's what we're supposed to do.
We've lost Iona. We've lost her.
Where is she? Where did
She's
she
gone.
go? What happened? You know, the theme for tonight, you guys, was enough is enough and it's time for change. That's right, Koshi Soul. That's
Should we
right,
run
you
for office,
guys.
Coles?
I'm
We're running for
telling
office.
you.
Enough is enough. It's time for change. That's gonna be my slogan.
That's
Phil,
what our
2028.
that's what our night was about, change, and also because we've changed the show because we've moved to Tuesday nights and we're on YouTube, and I do miss our Instagram people that we have left them,
Well, the
and
interaction and stuff is just different here. We just can't. It's not as flexible, Iona.
it's not, and now this is cool, you guys. Not saying anything get you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we had built up something there, and it's like we kind of left, but we're working it out. We're working out. We're gonna get it all. We're gonna get it all back together, and
I
I'm
think I'm going to
just
go and do a couple of little
me too.
stand-ups, maybe from Toronto,
Oh,
and just
good.
talk to the people on Instagram and say, "Hey, yo,
Yeah.
come on over. You can do it."
I
So let me
wish
ask
you
you a couple
would,
questions
because
while
you
we're
got
over
over
here,
five. You
because
got a whole. I've got 5,000 people. You got a whole bunch of people.
I got a few more, but not that many. I got a few.
You've got
Anyway,
several. You've got several.
when people want to see archived shows, can they go on our channel and
Yes.
subscribe, and then they're there, they're embedded there?
All of our shows they can subscribe, and also because when we first started on Instagram, we didn't start a business. The Vision is Possible, so they can see old shows on your page or on mine.
Oh, right, right, right. So go to
Yeah,
Instagram to see the ones before we went to YouTube. Is
YouTube.
there a way to throw those? Somehow we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to get those
Way
over
to
there
do what,
someday.
baby? To
Throw the ones on Instagram onto YouTube.
Oh yes, I've already
Share
started
them.
doing the shorts, but I'm going to start putting the full shows on YouTube as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so they can come on. They can come on there, and we
Very
can
cool.
see and everything. And so, I'm ready to.
Yeah, are you?
I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah.
feeling a little. This is. I
Yeah.
love you guys. I love you so
You're
much.
so,
So
so beautiful,
wonderful.
Ellen.
It's so
Beautiful.
great.
Um,
Wait, here it
Create
is,
a
Coach
QR
Soul.
code.
Okay, let me put this here. Go
Whoop.
ahead, Phil. Tell us.
I do it. Iona, is there a way to create a QR code that you can take on the road that folks can take a picture of that code and it'll take them straight to the channel?
Yes.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Yes,
We
as a
just need
matter
to
of
figure it out.
fact, I'm really glad you said that, Coach So, because I had not thought about that because I'm still in the link area. But I have, if you guys know Bitly, I will go on Bitly. And as a matter of fact, I'll pour myself another glass of wine and I will be up and I'll create that today so I can print up something for you, Phil. And I'll
Beautiful.
print up
Thank you.
actually a bunch of cards and then
Awesome.
I'll drop it off for you. And you can
That'd be
give it to
beautiful.
people. Yeah,
And then I
I'll
can
drop
take
off.
pictures of them. Will pictures of QR codes work?
Yeah, that's the point of the QR code because you can take a picture of it and then it takes you straight to the channel.
No, I know, but can I take a
Oh,
picture of the QR code and send that?
to where, baby? Where would you send that?
All of my followers, all 7 of my followers.
Oh, oh, so you have 9 followers.
Okay.
Well, you
Yeah,
know
yours.
what?
Thank you.
Well, you know what? Thank you, beloved. Oh, Jeannie, thank you. You know what? Hey, Coach, or somebody answer us. Can Phil take a picture of the QR code? I don't see why you can't, honey.
And send it, and then the person who sees the picture can QR code it.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's like when we go to if you get concert tickets and you just want to take a picture of it so that you have it in your photos when you go.
Right in your wallet. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
I'll
do
work
that.
it
But
out. I'll work it out.
I'll still get cards for you. And also, honestly, you guys, we are at youtube.com /at the vision is possible. That's pretty easy to remember. youtube.com
Forward
slash
slash.
forward slash
Or is it
at
backward slash?
the
Vision is
vision
possible. I'm sure
is
it'll direct you.
possible.
YouTube wants you to watch us. They do.
YouTube
They
wants
told
you
me
to watch. They
directly. They called
did
me.
they? Oh
Mr.
my
YouTube, Mr.
God.
Tube.
Jeannie
I got that
says, "I
kind of
think you
connection.
can. I think you can. Can yes, you
I
can.
think I
Can
feel that I'm going to do it. I feel like the little train
can."
who could. I'll do
Coastal
it.
says, "I think so. We can try it. Yes, we will try it. But I believe it does work. I will work on that this evening. That's very
Love the
easy.
positivity, people. Love
Oh
the
my
can-do
God, we
attitude.
love you guys.
I want to talk to the people. Tell them what you
Okay,
think.
so you guys, this is my final word. Let me move my water over here, and let me give myself a little bam, like this. And you know what? And I think too. I don't know where I'm gonna go with this, but I'm just gonna let me see if this is. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling a little something here. What happened? Oh, it went. Oh, you know what? I edited that. Okay, let me just see here. Let me just put a little bit of some. Okay. So, oh wow, makes me emotional. So the topic of today's show was change. Everything must change. If you remember that song, or if you ever knew that song. And Phil and I have kind of talked about baseball. We've talked about, things you do together. Quentin, you're here. You're late, but we're here. It's the end, baby, but check us out. The only thing constant in life, you guys, is change. You're either going to create that change on your own, or it's going to happen to you. It doesn't matter. It's still change. It's up to each one of us on how we handle the change. What I have found is that I can cry my little tears at losing a job, which I have in my life, or a boyfriend, or something that didn't work out for me in the moment. But now I've realized, wipe those tears soon and look at the blessing in the change. I promise you, every change is about moving you forward to something else better. You have a choice in life. We're animals like our four-legged friends. The difference is we've got more of a choice. And if we use our choice to create more of what we want, no change, or every change rather, that has happened will lead you to your highest good. And that's what we all want, right? You are the mistress, the master, or if it's a them-ster of your destiny. So stay in control of that. And at the same time, when I say stay in control, learn how to release the anger, the disappointment, the fear of what is coming next, and just continue to move forward. That's what I wish for all of us. I know that's what I'm doing. I love you, and I'm so glad you come in on Thursdays. And I'm going to pass it on over to my other very handsome half. Hey, bro, what you got to say?
Well, we started this with change, and you don't really need to play that for me. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm just going to talk.
Sure.
What I want everybody to understand is that change is not easy, right? Yeah, we want to grow, we want to move forward, but it isn't easy. Especially the best change, the best growth, the most substantial growth it's challenging. It takes self-awareness. It's risky. You have to have courage and bravery, and you have to have a will that will help you cope with the change many times. Even though you see a lot of the things that Iona and I do, and they're so wonderful, and we're so blessed and grateful for them to occur and to have them on our journey. As Iona said, with me, there are many challenges. There are challenges we don't bring up all the time because, we are here for good change and positive change. We're not here just to BS you. We're here to shoot straight with you because that's what we need. And so I have been going through a lot of those challenges myself, personally, and other people around me. As you all understand and know, Iona and I both lost people close to us recently. And I ran into a friend of mine at the convention who is a very famous human being and lost a very famous human being. So they don't do it under the cloud of darkness. They do it in the bright light of sunshine and the harsh glare of the spotlight. They don't get to grieve by themselves. They have to grieve in the full light of day in front of everyone. So it's challenging. And what I want to say to myself is, Phil, accept the challenge. Just like I had to accept the situation outside the airport. The resistance to it created more problems. My acceptance of the situation created a solution for me. It gave me peace of mind. And that's what facing your challenges will give you, peace of mind. Not facing them will continue to further the challenge. It's your choice, really. And if you don't think you have a choice, then you're underestimating yourself. And you're not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. And that's what I want to do for myself. That's how I counsel myself on a daily basis. Even when I'm being egotistical or selfish, I try in reflection to see that selfishness or that ego and put it in the place that it deserves. And it's helping a lot. So it isn't always easy. But change is constant and you cannot stop it. So keep it going, y'all. Stay in your own corner, as our father would say. And you have a lot of people, at least here on a Tuesday night now, that will support you. And I love that you support Iona and I. So thank you.
Yeah. Pretty groovy. Phil,
Yeah, good
I
stuff.
love your wisdom of words. It's wonderful. Hey, you
too, my darling.
guys. So you can find Phil in Toronto this week. And remember, our new night is Tuesday. And tonight's the first night we started Tuesday. Taco, Tickle Tuesday, Tantalizing Tuesday, Terrific Tuesday. This is where you can find Phil at the Fillmores. Everywhere. And this is where you can find me. I own a lot of gold, huh? You get that? I own a lot. Come on now. And this is where you can find the show. And I didn't put our new one up there, but as you all know, youtube.com/@thevisionispossible.
You write it in there, Ona. In the comments. Write that in the comments.
Right in the comments. Okay. Let me write this. youtube.com/@thevisionispossible. There
Boom.
we go. And you know what, you guys? I'm challenging you. Bring a friend next Tuesday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Tell one person.
Bring a friend. We're asking you all to bring a friend. That's right, Coach. So that's what that is. Matter of fact, thank you, Coach. I should put where the music is coming from. Bring a friggin' friend with you so we can grow. Okay, we can reach more people, and you can have more friends who think like you now.
Yeah, you might even get on here and talk to Iona, the queen of all the beautifulness.
So we're going to come up with this about how we're going to get one of you guys on us every other month, which is going to be really cool. We love you, Phil. Have a great time in Toronto with you and Coach Soul and everyone.
I will see you guys in Toronto. Thank you for speaking English. My French isn't that great, and I love you all. I love you all.
See you next week. Have a great week, you guys. Bye-bye, Philly. Love you. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.